Hi there, I'm Jen, this is Gunther Dog, and this is going to be the vacation book tag. I was tagged by Berna from Berna's Bookish Adventures just this morning, and I thought I can get this done really quickly. And I thought I'd do this outside because I was thinking it would look more vacation-y, but I think there's too much wind and traffic noise, so maybe not. In any case, thanks to Berna for tagging me. I think this tag was created by Steve Donahue. I will link to both her video and his video below. And yeah, I think I should go inside for the rest of this. Question number 1 is, what's your favorite book about somebody taking a vacation? And my answer is probably Jon Krakauer's Into Thin Air, because climbing Mount Everest should not be a holiday that just anybody and their brother can do. But if you have enough money, you can do that. Hey, this is editing me. Obviously, you cannot actually do it now, and who knows what it's going to look like in the future. I was going to say when people are actually climbing, but I did hear there's an expedition right now going up from the Chinese side, so, but you definitely can't go up from the Nepal side right now. Anyway. Killing themselves on the mountain, or more unfortunately, killing the Sherpas who are helping them up on the mountain. But in any case, I think that's interesting because there are so many things now that people shouldn't probably do unless they're a specialist, and even then, why are you really doing it? And yes, I know the answer is because it's there. So yes, reading about people dying on Everest is my favorite book about people on vacation. That sounds terrible. Question number 2 is, do you read travel writing? And if so, favorites? I do read travel writing. I think one of my favorites was a book that I read probably about 10 years ago, maybe more recently than that. I read a book, I don't remember who the author was, but I'll find it and insert it here, that was called It's Not About the Bike. Hey, editing me again. I was wrong there. The book is not called It's Not About the Bike. It's called It's Not About the TAPAS, and the author is Polly Evans, and I read it 8 years ago. I went to look that all up. And it was about this British woman biking around Spain, and how she'd been a kind of middle-of-the-road cyclist at the beginning, and how both her Spanish language improved and her cycling ability improved. Yeah, it was an entertaining story. And I also enjoy, as you know, question number 1 probably suggested, I enjoy reading outdoorsy writing, and that tends to involve travel most of the time, so. Question number 3 are, what are your books on vacation ritual? Depending on where I'm going, if I'm going to a city that I have traveled to a number of times, I often have a favorite used bookshop somewhere that I go to, so if I'm going to Calgary, I probably go to Fairs Fair or something. And frankly, if I go to Calgary, I probably go to the new Central Library, because the past few times I've been out there visiting my sister, I do go out of my way to go there. But in terms of books to take on holiday, I don't particularly. I do occasionally still take physical books with me, and I usually regret it. Last year when I went to Vietnam, I took the Histories of Herodotus with me, which was not a smart choice because it's heavy and it's ridiculous, and I didn't read it. I read ebooks on my tablet the whole time. So yeah, I've basically completely converted to having, and now I've bought a Kindle since then, which is even lighter weight. So I just download ebooks from the library most of the time. I usually try to pick up 1 or 2 books that are either novels set in wherever I'm traveling or histories that are about the place. I don't find that my tastes are actually any different when I'm traveling. I don't go towards beach reads. I think if you follow me on Instagram, I was reading a history of communal violence in India when I was sitting on a beach in Mexico a few years ago. So reading like light genre fiction on the beach is not really what I do. So question number 4 is, what's your favorite book that you found or read first while on vacation? I don't know that my recent story is that I got this for the equivalent of 27 cents when I was in Vietnam last year. And I, of course, haven't read that because I always read library books first, so I, got 20 pages into that and didn't finish it, so it can't actually be my favorite. I don't know, I certainly have memories of reading books on trips, but they aren't necessarily all-time favorites. I remember trying to read The Black Stallion and the Girl in the car when I was, 10 years old, driving from Disentis in Switzerland to Connaught in Belgium, because we were going to my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary or something. And I feel like now you could just take a $20 Ryanair flight, but it was the 80s, so we drove. If you try to read a book when you're in a car in the Alps, I don't normally get motion sickness, but I did get motion sickness. So I have this memory of feeling ill and then reading 2 pages and then, feeling ill again. And so looking out the window to not have the motion sickness, and then, okay, I feel better, and trying to read it again. Yeah. I have another memory of reading Ken Follett's Pillars of the Earth on an airplane, and this was right before they released the news about airlines saving money by cutting the airflow in airplanes, and I had the most massive headache, and I'm sure it's because of the airflow thing. And it was the same kind of thing. I'd close my eyes for a while and then read more of this book, and that was, I don't know, probably the 90s, I guess. It was funny when Andrea from Infinite Text was doing a read-along of this, and I said, yeah, I read that a long time ago. And she said, and her comment was, oh, you're a hipster, you read it before it was cool. And I'm like, no, I'm just old. Question number 5 is, have you ever light-fingered a book from a vacation stay? And, probably. I feel like there are some places, there are a lot of hotels where they have a leave a book, take a book kind of thing, and I'm sure I've left a book and taken a book, so I don't know if that, it's probably not light-fingered because you're not really stealing it, but, so I don't think that really counts as stealing it, but close enough. Number 6 is, what are some of your favorite books set in exotic locales? And I don't know, exotic locales is a weird kind of Victorian way of thinking of things. Like, what does that even mean? So I'm going to say one of those photo books of 101 exotic plants. That works, right? Because otherwise I don't really know what that means. Because, I mean, technically exotic is just anything that's outside of your own country, right? So, almost everything, a huge proportion of what I read is not set in Canada, so. Question number 7 is, do you think the coronavirus will kill us all? It might kill your faith in humanity, because I think when you see a lot of people saying, well, I'm young, it doesn't matter, and then you think they're gonna become a vector of transmission and kill their grandparents. So that's a little depressing, but no, it's not gonna kill us all. Question number 8 is, what was the last book that you read on vacation? And I think the last book that I read on vacation was Paying with Their Bodies, American War and the Problem of the Disabled Veteran, because, as I said, I don't really do light holiday reading. Question number 9 is, tag people. Editing me for the last time. I just realized that the people I tagged as I was filming that have already done this. So let me just say, if you like to be tagged, consider yourself tagged. And thanks to Berna for tagging me. All right. So after this, I'm going to insert some photos from Chobe National Park in Botswana from my actual vacation, because this is the vacation tag. This will contain the hippopotamus that was missing from the video that I posted. Anyway, enjoy the animals. That's it for now. Ciao.